staying confident and goal-oriented. The mirror of the mind, deciphering self-confidence. Imagine standing at the edge of a diving board, the water shimmering below, the hush of anticipation in the air. What's the one thought that nudges an athlete to take the leap? I can do it. That's self-confidence, the unwavering belief in one's ability to perform a task. But where does this belief come from? Does it originate from endless hours of training or the reassuring nod from a coach? Let's journey into the athlete's psyche and understand the pillars that uphold this confidence. The wellsprings of sport confidence, more than just mastery. While mastery of a skill is undeniably a cornerstone, sport confidence is a tapestry woven from various threads. Remember our diver? Every flawless dive she's executed in the past adds to her confidence, a demonstration of ability. But then, there's also the mental prep talk before the dive and the hours of physical training, which offer both physical and mental preparation. And on days when she's unsure, seeing a peer successfully execute a dive, a vicarious experience, might bolster her confidence. Ever noticed athletes before a competition, their posture, attire, or even hairstyle? That's physical self-presentation at play. Our environments, too, play their role. The cheer of familiar faces, the ambience of a known stadium, all these elements provide environmental comfort. And of course, the role of coaches and peers in providing social support can't be overstated. The specifics of self-efficacy, confidence's close cousin. While self-confidence is the broad umbrella, self-efficacy is the precise prediction of rain. Think of it as a situational, task-specific form of self-confidence. If our diver believes she can perfectly execute a specific dive at next week's championship, that's self-efficacy. An interesting twist is the interactional approach of self-efficacy theory. It propounds that one's belief in their abilities, combined with external factors, can spur behavioral change. Imagine if our diver, confident in her abilities, finds out that her main competitor has dropped out. This external factor, coupled with her self-efficacy, could boost her performance. How does one build this fortress of confidence? While long-term strategies like dedicated practice are paramount, short-term boosts play their part. Focusing on performance, rather than the end result, is akin to enjoying the journey irrespective of the destination. Acting confident can sometimes be half the battle. Picture our diver, walking with her head held high, exuding confidence. Her body language can trick her mind into feeling more assured. Positive self-talk is another tool in her arsenal. Mentally rehearsing successful dives or telling herself "I've got this" can be powerful. And speaking of rehearsal, the role of imagery can't be overlooked. Visualizing a perfect dive, sensing the splash of water, and hearing the audience's applause can significantly bolster self-confidence. Insights from research. Research in the realm of sport psychology has offered many fascinating insights. Horn's recommendations provide a roadmap for coaches, underscoring the importance of frequent interactions and a mastery-oriented environment. It's not just about what is taught, but how it's conveyed. Furthermore, research indicates that watching others, be it live or on film, can enhance an athlete's self-efficacy in tasks. It's like watching a dance move and thinking, if they can do it, so can I. But here's a curveball: psychological momentum. While you'd assume that a series of wins would predict a continued positive streak, research suggests otherwise. Successive wins, while boosting positive feelings, don't necessarily predict future outcomes. Confidence is both an art and a science, a delicate blend of internal beliefs and external influences. While the journey to building unwavering self-confidence is personal, the roadmap is universal: practice, perseverance, and a pinch of positivity. The science and art of goal setting. Picture this: a climber stands at the base of a mountain, gazing upwards. To some, the peak represents a destination; to others, the journey itself. That peak, dear reader, embodies the essence of a goal. Now, while goals might seem straightforward, they are more than just endpoints. They are motivators, guiders, and sometimes, the driving force that gets us out of bed every morning. Goals aren't just about the endgame. For an athlete, it might be a particular score or time, performance, perfecting a technique, process, or even the exhilaration of standing atop a podium. Outcome. Just like a compass, they guide a performer's focus towards the critical facets of a task. Think of our climber again. Is he more focused on reaching the peak, outcome, perfecting his climbing technique, process, or beating his previous best time, performance? There's undeniable magic in setting and chasing goals. They don't just guide, they push and pull. That gentle nudge to run an extra mile, or the mental tug forcing one to study for another hour, that's the power of goals. They're like caffeine for motivation and a balm for waning persistence. And the fun part? They often lead us to devise ingenious strategies, those little shortcuts and long cuts we'd never have discovered otherwise. But there's more. The ripples of goal setting extend into the psyche, influencing self-belief, managing nerves, and tweaking satisfaction levels. In many ways, setting the right goal is like tuning a guitar. It ensures the notes that follow are harmonious. Traps in goal setting, what to watch out for. But the path of goal setting isn't always strewn with roses. Sometimes, there are thorns. While the idea of setting goals seems universally beneficial, it can be tricky. For instance, setting goals can feel time-consuming. It requires introspection and foresight. Then there are those who ventured into goal setting before, only to face disappointment. Such previous negative experiences can make the idea of setting fresh goals daunting. And then comes the choice: how many goals to pursue? For a novice, the horizon can seem overwhelming. Here's where a guiding hand can help. Instead of overwhelming them with multiple goals, it might be wise to assist them in picking one meaningful goal. A singular point of focus can often be more effective than a scattergun approach. The Goldilocks zone of goal setting. And how do we ensure the goals aren't too easy or impossibly hard? Imagine setting a goal to climb a small hill versus scaling Mount Everest without any gear. One's too simple, the other's a tad ambitious. Goals, ideally, should sit in the Goldilocks zone, not too easy, not too hard, but just right. They should challenge, but not overwhelm. The preliminaries of goal setting. Before embarking on this goal-driven journey, it's wise to assess where one stands. Think of it as checking your inventory before a trip. This formal assessment isn't just a bureaucratic step, it sets the stage for the journey ahead. It gives an insight into one's strengths and areas that need attention. And it's not just for the athlete. It's an essential step for the instructor or leader, a foundation stone in their goal-setting program. Concentration in sports and exercise settings. The stadium roars. Athletes everywhere, but it's the select few whose focus never wavers despite the cacophony. This powerful trait, concentration, is not just about raw physical talent but also the mind's dexterity. Picture a tennis player. The world blurs around her except for the ball, her opponent's position, and the court lines. This illustrates one of the key elements of concentration, the ability to focus attention on relevant cues. But what if a sudden cheer erupts from the crowd? While some might see the noise as a distractor, it's an external one. Internal distractors, on the other hand, are more insidious, attending to past regrets, anxiety about future plays, overanalyzing body mechanics, or even fatigue. Interestingly, not all facets of concentration are universally agreed upon. For example, one might think that the ability to narrow attentional focus in all situations is essential. Yet, it doesn't fit most definitions of concentration. Instead, maintaining attentional focus for the duration of the competition and adjusting it as per the situation holds more value. Now, the truly elite athletes, the ones who seem to have that magical touch, always being at the right place at the right time? Research provides an eye-opening perspective. From an attentional standpoint, these top athletes stand out not because they merely concentrate harder, but because they analyze situations more quickly and are adept at picking up anticipatory cues. But how do our minds juggle all these demands? Science offers a few perspectives. Some theorists view our mind as having a single attention pathway. Others see it as a reservoir where attention is allocated variably, and yet others argue for the existence of multiple resource pools for different tasks. Two major players in understanding this are attentional selectivity, which determines what we choose to focus on, and attentional capacity, gauging how much we can focus on. Both are crucial to forming the intricate attention-performance relationship. Outside the direct arena of sports, it's vital to recognize the symbiotic relationship between physical activity and mental health. A significant workshop by the National Institute of Mental Health shed light on this very aspect. They found two standout points. First, physical fitness is positively associated with mental health, enriching the mind as much as the body. Second, long-term exercise seems to be a balm, soothing traits like neuroticism and anxiety. Enhancing concentration isn't solely a matter of intense drills on the field. Incorporating strategies off the field is equally, if not more, essential. For instance, engaging in mental simulations, using cue words as concentration triggers, fostering non-judgmental thinking, self-monitoring one's progress, crafting competitive strategies, and establishing solid routines are pivotal. In essence, the world of sports and exercise is not just a testament to human physical potential, but also a celebration of the mind's intricate dance of attention and focus. To master concentration is to meld the mind and body into a symphony of excellence.